Hello friends, welcome to the channel. Bob here. Welcome to the world of Wurm again. I do really enjoy the scenery, particularly from like my plot that I've got here. Just looking through there, great atmosphere. The weather seems to have changed a bit. I know that they do seasons, I should say, in Wurm, and I've it seems to be kind of quite autumnal feeling at the moment. Like if you look around here, there are sort of autumnal leaves on the floor and whatnot, and the grass still seems quite summery. But then I've done nothing with it, so it's just growing. I think at the moment. But I do enjoy the views. I'm so looking forward to winter. Not sure if it's coming from the northern hemisphere or having Scottish or Viking blood or something, but I love winters. We don't really get the winters here in the UK that I'm not sure if it's kind of a nostalgia, but the winters that I kind of remember when I was a kid, with lots of snow and that kind of stuff. But I think Wurm has a seasons mechanic, which is really good. I can't believe that other games don't do that. Like, how immersive would it be to play an MMO and the season changes? It can't be that hard to spread a snow texture everywhere. I can't imagine, but it's a shame that other games don't do that. I mean, Asheron's called it, I believe, 20 years ago. So it's quite shameful that that level of immersion hasn't been reached in games that have got a lot more money than this one. But I've logged in this morning and I'm not really quite sure what to do. I don't know if it's a common thing, but I have to say, the spawn, for me, maybe I need to go and explore a little bit and have a look over the hill there, but the spawn issue hasn't been fixed yet. So I haven't really played much. I've been waiting for it to kind of get fixed. And I understand it's a small team and a small budget, but it feels a bit disappointing that I think this is probably a couple of weeks after my last video, maybe, I'm not sure. But I'm still kind of waiting for it appears as though I've logged in this morning and looked around and there's no animals or creatures at all. So I'm kind of still still waiting for a fix and for what seems to be a fairly almost game-stopping bug, really, to do certain things. There are other things you can do, obviously, but I would call it a game blocker for certain aspects of the game, and it hasn't been fixed yet. It doesn't look as though it has anyway. If it has, I apologise, but that's quite disappointing, like even for a small team. I would have thought that they would have kind of patched that in by now. Or maybe it's just where I am. I really don't know. I mean, it can't be, because before this was Spider Hill. You remember the Great Spider War of 1094 that occurred. But there's nothing. I just ran up there. There's no animals. There was a fair selection of animals down on the beach here, and there are now none. So yeah, it is disappointing, I have to say. I would expect it to be fixed by now. What I might do is start to... I need to put more time into... I'm sorry, this is just one of those videos where there's no gameplay. I'm just waffling. But I will try and produce some gameplay later on in the video. It looks like the colours of the leaves here and the trees are changing and stuff, which I really love. That's a great thing. I've also got some... I've noticed I've got some... chestnut trees coming up as well. I guess chestnut is maybe preferable to use for different tasks, for building different things. I'm not sure. I'll have to check that. But yeah, I'm in sandbox games. I'm one of those players that does kind of get a bit stumped as to what to do with themselves. I've mentioned before in a previous video, I think it was a different game about kind of writing lists. So I kind of need to write a list. But what I want to do, there's a lot of things I want to do. I want to craft armor, craft weapons. I want to expand my house. But the one thing that I really like in games is kind of animal taming. animal handling trees and stuff. Now I know that Wurm doesn't have that kind of combat-y, it doesn't seem to have, not that you would compare to other games, it doesn't have that combat-y kind of you know, kind of animal handling, taming kind of trees that you get in other MMOs, but it does have animal husbandry and like taming and that kind of thing. So I would like to get into it, but I'm not really sure where to start. I have to confess that whenever I play a game, I would say that initially I don't do any research. Not that will kind of break the game for me, because I like to kind of work it out myself. But the more I'm logging into Wurm, the more I'm thinking to myself, I'm kind of thinking to myself, right, so I want to get some animals, start raising, taming and animal husbandry, and I'm thinking to myself, actually, should I just look for like a fairly basic guide to get me started? You know, even though it's not something I would normally do. Wurm is quite overwhelming in its mechanics. I think the other problem as well is that because I'm not dedicating a lot of time to it at the moment, although believe me I will be in the future, I just feel it's that sort of winter game that you kind of snuggle up in and comfort yourself with. So even though I'm not doing it at the moment, I will be doing it, and it does feel like a game, as I said before, that you do need to dedicate a lot of time to. So what I might do today, just to show you some gameplay, it's not just talking, is I might go and build myself a little pen, animal pen somewhere. So there's one of my guards down there, I think. Is it? Yeah, I think so. It's a long way down, but then maybe my border is down. I think my border's down there somewhere. I might build myself like a little animal pen, like maybe 2x2 or something. Just to have something available so that when I can find some horses or cows or whatever it may be, I can put them in there and maybe they'll start breeding and stuff. I really don't know how all that works. But maybe I can at least get some animals to practice animal handling and animal husbandry. So I'll stop now and I'll get some gameplay done, then kind of show you what I've done, and then we'll move on from there. Hello, welcome back to the video. So here's some gameplay. I promise you. Well, assuming that you would call it gameplay, some people may not. But I'm just building a couple of paddocky type things, I guess. Yeah, it's going all right. This one's a gate. I did make a padlock, a large. I don't know if it was the wrong type of padlock, but I made a large padlock. But I can't affix it to the gate. But maybe that's because it's not. This area, the area needs to be fully enclosed. What I was going to do is have a gate here and a gate here. So one gate leads into this one, and you come through this gate to this one. That was my yeah. I also planted some grass here as well, because when you eventually get any animals ever again, then then they will need feeding of some kind. I'm assuming there's all sorts of crazy complications and mechanics and stuff involved in even just feeding animals different foods, do different things, all that kind of thing. But that's stuff that I just have to learn and pick up as I go along, really. I do hope that I'm hoping the spawn thing, although I was moaning about it just now, I hope that the spawn thing hasn't been fixed yet, because I think one of the things that, in the last video that I was talking about, I think one of the things I was talking about, and a couple of people, I mean, you know, a couple of people did mention it to me, that it was something that one person said they kind of seen it in game, and someone else said that it was one of the things they were concerned about. What's going on here? Standing in the way of finishing the fence. Okay, fair enough. Get out of the way. Yeah, it's the fact that, like, even on I won't bang on about it again for too long, but it was just there we go. There's my fence part. To build a fence is fairly easy. You walk up to the tile border with your hammer selected in your inventory. You need to have small nails, shafts and planks as well. But yeah, fence, plank, build wooden fence, and it will start building the wooden fence. But you do need to have you need to have a shaft in your inventory to get to this point. and then you add that to the crafting window, and it tells you what else you need. I think I've got everything I need. Yeah, and that is like even on a new server, kind of like, you know, very experienced players coming onto the server, and obviously know what they're doing much quicker than a new player, and kind of, I mean, not stripping the land clean, I guess, but yeah, I don't know how that would work. You know, is it possible for a group of people to build a town and then essentially like take all of the animals? Is the spawn rate kind of like enough so that like someone else coming in or new players coming in would be able to find horses and animals to keep? I hope so. You know, I hope it's not that. I hope it's not that situation. That would be that'd be a bit of a shame. But fingers crossed. I'm hoping that the reason that there's nothing here is because of the the spawn issue, and it's not because a big town over here has taken all of the animals. Because that would be, yeah, I would say somewhat annoying. But I'm gonna, as I said, this will enclose the paddock or the fence, the enclosure, whatever you want to call it. And I think I can probably put another gate here, maybe. Add to crafting window. I'm not sure if I've got all the bits for this one. No, I need a shaft. Okay, I'll go make some shafts. Anyway, we're getting there, and yeah, I'll come back when we're finished. Hello, welcome back again to the last part of the video. I think I'm not sure if I've showed. I don't think I showed you this in the previous video, but I've kind of got a little mine area where I've got my own what are they called? Forge, not forge. My own furnace now. Forge. It's called a forge. Okay, I've got my own forge now, which is quite exciting. It's in a little mine area. The only thing I've noticed is that I've got an iron deposit up there. And the only thing I noticed is that I've built the forge out just outside of my deeds area. So this square here is where my deed starts. I'm not sure what that means. I'm not sure if that means someone can come in and take stuff, or if it just means that it will degrade quickly. It's not too bad. I mean, I did improve the quality of it. It's taken a little bit of damage. Yeah, I'm not sure if that's the case, but I don't think they'll be able to get into my mine anyway with the door unless they break it down. I guess if that's what they want to do. I'm just going to move up here just a little bit. I love this scene here. Really like this. My little timber house, lots of wildflowers and stuff. Yeah, that's pretty cool. And I'll just show you my finished paddock stroke enclosure. There we go. That's it. There, got grass growing on each square. Yeah, the only thing I need now is a horse or some animals. I do feel that I've built myself a cart, but I think I have to pull that myself. which is not a lot of fun. So I think my next step is to try and get a horse, or preferably two, where I can maybe start breeding them. I don't know what skills I need for that, but if I can just get a horse here, and I can learn to ride, I think, because I think that moving around the world on foot is very slow. And can be quite unsafe depending on what's going on. So I'd like to get a horse to ride, maybe build a cart that can be pulled by horses so I can go further afield to get resources, etc. I'm not even sure if I've built this in the best position because of the slope. I need to try and deal with the slope so it's easier for me to walk down. I mean, the gate's actually here, so it's easy to walk up here and deposit an animal in the thing there. Yeah, but that's it so far. Not much to show today, but then that's Wurm. You know, I did manage to make a lock for my fence as well. It was a gate lock I needed rather than a padlock. So yeah. So one thing I'm going to do now for the rest of the day is I'm going to go have a little wander and see if I can kind of find anything out there. You know, maybe I'm mistaken about the spawn thing. But as I said before, I hope I'm not. I do hope that when I'm playing a game like this game, when I'm talking about it, doesn't come across too negatively as I'm moaning. The things I talk about that I'm finding as I play a game, I do feel it's a problem. So, for example, if there isn't anything here because experienced players have come to the new server and stripped the land bare, well, that's a problem to me. You know, the developers kind of shouldn't allow that. You know, they shouldn't allow a town to collect up 100 horses and then there's nothing else left. That doesn't seem the best way of doing it. Even from like a game even from a game world mechanics point of view, how would you feed them all? You know, I understand like it's a game, so you can just plant grass, but logistically that wouldn't be possible for new people. You know, in a new world, etc. You know, so when I'm complaining about when I'm complaining, I'm saying maybe I'm complaining. I don't know. But when I'm pointing out issues that I'm having, it's not that I'm complaining. It's that I'm kind of genuinely wondering what's happened. If it is a part of the game, like why was it made that way? You know, yeah. But I'm going to spend the rest of my time today. I'm going to have a little wander in that direction. See if I can just find anything. Really, if I can find a horse and lead it back, I'll be happy. For today, that will be pretty cool. Yeah. But I hope that this won't stay empty for too long. Who knows? I really have no idea what's going to happen. But yeah, I do hope that when I talk about a game, if it sounds like I'm moaning or being negative, I'm not. I'm genuinely trying to understand what the thinking is behind everything that's going on. And obviously there will be things that will like, well, that's stupid. Like, why did they do that? You know, no game's perfect, of course. I know people who have been playing a particular game for a long time might want it to be, and some people will defend every single thing in the game, but that's not my intention. You know, I'm just trying to understand what's going on. Yeah, and like for new players, kind of trying to point out the problems I'm having. Oops, sorry, I knocked my mic there. The problems I'm having as a relatively new player. You know, and how they can be overcome maybe as a new player, or maybe how they can be overcome by the developers implementing something that just makes more sense, you know, that kind of thing. So anyway, yeah, that's it for this video. I hope you enjoyed watching, and I'll speak to you again soon.